The legend of Willie Swamp. Indeed. So if you heard me teasing a little bit ago about my interview with Ted Nugent, here it is. Earlier in the week, I got to talk with Ted to help me promote a really cool, really important concert event that's coming to our area. Ted is 1,000% behind it, as we are here at K Wolf. So without further ado, my conversation with Ted. Your home of rock and Americana. Welcome to K Wolf, everybody. And what a treat we have on the phone. Man, I've had the opportunity to interview this amazing man a couple of times in my radio career. And Ted, you're one of my favorites, man. Ladies and gentlemen, K Wolf Wolfpack, Mr. Nugent joins us on the phone. What's up, brother?
Katy, happy summertime 2021 and the craziest times in the history of humanity. God bless America, woman.
I'm telling you, it has just been, would you ever think you'd see this kind of madness in our lifetime?
Well, remember, I have an unlimited imagination, so I can contemplate really outrageous stuff, but I'm afraid the heartbreak that we're experiencing, the level of criminal corruption and abuse of power by our government, the media, academia, Hollywood, certainly big tech Marxists. It's treacherous, but we fight hard every day. We've got an organization called Hunter Nation, hunternation.org, where we're recruiting families across America to fight against this Marxism and this abuse of power. So the prognosis is hopeful, and we are engaged. So I'm cocked, locked, and ready to rock the Glock around the clock, Dr. Spock.
And I tell you what, spoken like only you can, Ted. The reason that we've got you on is kind of an interesting situation for me because I'm not really moving tickets to a concert you're doing or anything that directly involves you per se as a person with that guitar on the stage, Ted. But you're here to help us promote and get the word out for an amazing event and an organization out there. The beneficiary of a big outdoor festival concert that's coming to town is Operation Triage. And I know you know a lot about Operation Triage. And we are trying to fill the new chapter, Missouri chapter coffers here because these veterans, these people out there, Ted, that have fought and given everything they've got for us and our freedoms and everything here, they need help, man. And that help is it shows itself in many different ways. And Operation Triage is one of these organizations stepping in to try to help these men and women in crisis.
Well, Katy, number one, a salute to you because you're a lot like everybody I know. Everybody, certainly the Nugent family stands with you. And my band, my crew, all my hunting buddies, my neighbors here in Michigan and Texas. What Dan Vargas and Matt Belcher have created here with this Operation Triage is just another example of Americans admitting and genuflecting at the altar of freedom, knowing that freedom is not free. And we really owe an incredible debt of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness and the greatest quality of life in the history of the world. Freedom, constitutionally guaranteed freedom in the United States of America, to the families and those heroes of the U.S. military, many of whom have sacrificed not just their arms and their legs and their skin, but they've had to bring their brothers and sisters home in flag-draped coffins so that we can get up in the morning and pursue life, liberty, and happiness. So Operation Triage is just another example of what you, Katy, and I, and again, all the good families in the asset column that are giving back in a way that we can in this big Freedom Jam concert. Boy, I wish I could be there, but I'm already booked on August 28th, and there's a great, great artist, Ryan Daniel, that's going to be at the Freedom Jam concert for Operation Triage on Saturday, August 28th, and they're doing God's work. I know heroes of the military, Katy, whose lives have been saved by this kind of generous charity work that Dan and Matt and everybody out there is doing with Operation Triage. So I hope everybody marks their calendar and they join Ryan Daniel and just great, great American families in the heartland, and they take part in this incredible concert, a Freedom Jam concert that are benefiting the heroes of the military and law enforcement and first responders and the firefighters. These are the frontline warriors that provide us happiness and security and safety every day. So hallelujah.
Absolutely. And Ted, there's a darker side of the conversation, although when I speak to you, I never want to do that because it's always so much fun. But here's the cut nuts of this situation. Every day, 22 veterans here on our homeland take their own lives out of multiple different stresses. Financial obligations they feel they can't meet, health care they cannot get, and things such as that. So Operation Triage, a big part of the mission that started in Texas and has now opened up here in Missouri, is like you said, it's to make sure that these guys and gals have resources that they need. We need to curtail this number. 22 of our proud that are taking their own lives every single day is unacceptable.
Well, I've worked with Dan Vargas and Matt Belcher with a number of military charities around the country. And again, prioritization is what I think the greatest philosopher of all time, Dirty Harry, he said a good man knows his limitations. And every time I see one of these military operations, certainly the ones that Dan and Matt have been involved with, just like Operation Triage, the families dig deep and they show up to help. And I know for a fact I get to train with Delta Force and the Green Berets and the Special Forces out there, the Army Rangers and the Navy SEALs and SWAT teams around the country. And the campfires that I share with these heroes of the military, law enforcement, first responders, the firefighters, boy, talking about superhuman beings, talking about human beings who put the rest of us before themselves, Katie.
Oh, time and time again.
We wouldn't wake up in America. The water wouldn't come out of the faucet. The thermostat wouldn't function, and our cars wouldn't start if it wasn't for these frontline warriors. They're just, I hear a lot about equality, but unfortunately, the truth is that when I share a campfire with these heroes of the military and law enforcement, first responders, I am not equal to them. They're better than I am. They're better than the average person.
Yes.
They carve out a huge segment of their American dream to help others before themselves. So I hope everybody listening, Katie, will go to the website for Operation Triage, and I think it's operationtriage.com or .org. But the big event coming up on Saturday, August 28th, just everybody dig deep and help out this great, great charity. Literally, what an embarrassment that our government is rolling out the red carpet for non-American invaders while the heroes of the military that provide the American dream are ignored and they're committing suicide and giving up at this rate of 20 to 22 every day. Katie, it breaks my heart. So Operation Triage is one of the great examples of American families who give back. And a big salute again to Dan Vargas and Matt Belcher and everybody involved. I know these people, and they give up their time to help those who have sacrificed so much for the rest of us.
And gosh, Ted, we could just go on and on for a day about this stuff, because obviously I would hope that in our hearts and our musical souls, we all deeply believe that we need to provide and do what we can. And a ticket to this thing, Ted, is only $30. Here's the thing. And look, let's be honest and open about this, because I think that the only way that we're going to, communicate what is needed here is to be open and honest. Our pain right now for this event is we don't have any star power, right? We don't have a you. We don't have a lot of people that are recognizable. But these artists are amazing. They are some of the up-and-comers, some of the most talented people right now coming out of Nashville, even coming out of Missouri here, hitting this stage for this very reason. And for a day, for $30 to see this amazing up-and-coming music. It is going to be an 11-hour day, Ted. 11 hours for $30. We need to get some tickets moving and get some people who want to engage and help and come out and not only support this, but support young music, support the people that are keeping live music alive out there, and just come out and celebrate everything on this Freedom Jam Day.
Well, yeah, and it is operationtriage.org. I hope everybody visits operationtriage.org. And, you're talking about up-and-comers. Well, I'm holding these concerts because our tour was canceled again this year, something about a Chinese communist invasion that somehow weaseled their way into the White House. That being said, I'm doing what I call the Ted Nugent Greasy Speakeasy here in Waco, Texas, where it's like the old school, down and dirty, Hellraiser, rock and roll rhythm and blues celebration. And I got to tell you, guys like Ryan Daniel, when you see these guys perform, they got that soul.
They totally do.
I wish I could use some street language to express the content of their music, but this is an opportunity to see musicians and artists that really put their heart and soul into it. And they don't have to be a Toby Keith. They don't have to be a Blake Shelton or a Ted Nugent. They don't have to be Aerosmith or Sammy Hagar. These guys got the piss and vinegar. They got the spirit and the attitude, and they got the chops. This Operation Triage Freedom Concert, I'm telling you, it's the real McCoy, and people should tell everybody they know. Everybody listening to Katy and Uncle Ted right now should tell everybody in their families and at the workplace and at the gun range and the bowling alley, the barbecue, every family event that you go to, church and school, everywhere. Tell them to join this big organization, Operation Triage Concert, on the 28th of August. It's going to be the real McCoy. It's going to be a roustabout, and ultimately it shows that Americans realize that freedom ain't free, especially in the horror story that is 2021. What a great opportunity to stand up for what you believe in.
And I tell you what, Ted, this is taking place at a place in Eureka, Missouri called Brookdale Farms, and it is just beautiful. First of all, Eureka, Missouri is gorgeous, and this farm festival